Before you slip into unconsciousness, I'd like to have another kiss, another flashing chance at bliss, another kiss, another kiss.
Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Comic Talk. This is Comic Book 62, your friend Alex from Miami, and today it's a little chilly down here. We're actually in the low 50s. We're expected to even hit some of the high 40s. It's brutal in Miami, Florida. Now, I want to talk today about CGC again. And I don't want to talk about CGC per se about the company. I want to discuss more a question that I got from one of our viewers. He reached out to me and he sent me a question and said, "Look, I've been watching your videos," and he's talked to me before. He's one of the more frequent visitors I get, and he asked me, "What is your opinion on when should I CGC versus when I should not CGC, and what do you think are good books to CGC right now?" I'm going to make a list actually that's going to be similar to the short runs list that I made recently. And it'll be what I believe are the top 20 books that you should CGC. Um, Obviously, there's different reasons for it. And my response to him was I divided it into what modern you should CGC, what silver or what bronze, what silver, and what golden age. But more than that, I his question was, what is, in other words, when you CGC, what is the target that you think you should CGC at from a condition and grade perspective? So if you're going to go for modern, my opinion, and this is what I told him, is 9.8. Here's an example, right? Miss Marvel #1. 9.8, Miss Marvel #1. This is a beautiful copy. I actually have it online right now on eBay to sell. I think it's the right time, which is another part of when you should decide to move your CGCs. I'm more of a Golden Age collector and Silver Age collector. I specialize largely on EC, original art in the back. I also do a lot of timely, or not a lot, as much as I can. I mean, they're pretty costly. Some DCs. I do like my Silver Age DCs and some Golden Age. I'm a big Legion of Superhero collector. I'm a big Batgirl collector. And Batman, and with some limit Superman, more when it's Superboy and the Legion. As far as Marvel, there I go across the gambit. I mean, any Marvel that I find Silver Age, I pick up. And then when it comes to bronze, that's a little trickier. I look at bronze more from an investment perspective, where I always look at everything from an investment perspective, but my golden age and my silver age are what I consider to be long-term keepers, something that I plan to hold for a while. Because they're my personal collection. When it comes to bronze, I tactically go after bronze. I have a lot of books. I've been collecting comic books for several years now. Because of it, I'm talking, I've been collecting for over 40 years, maybe even close to 50 years. Um, because of it, I have a good majority of the bronze that I want to get. So I don't have a lot of bronze that I'm seeking. So when I do find a bronze that I go after, it's specifically because of speculation and what I see happening in the market. Modern, 100% speculation. It's all about what's happening in the market. I have no commitment to long-term hold on modern. I have very little commitment to bronze, but I will tend to hold bronze until the time is right. For example, right now, I'm holding John Byrne, Dave Cockrum, all of the X-Men from number 94 forward, waiting for the resurgence of the MCU X-Men, because I think that'll be the right time. And at that point, I will go into the market. I will start releasing my X-Men, and you should see it on eBay. By the way, if you ever go to eBay, check me out as Comic Book 1962. So here's another 9.8. Now, it's funny about this one. Qualified. Why is it qualified? Because it was signed and not verified. If you look, let me see where the signature is. And it's actually a very small signature right here, right there. That is the signature that was done by the artist. And because of it, they said written on cover and gave me a qualified. I just love the way. Oh, actually, here it is. I thought that wasn't the signature. Here's the actual signature right down there. That and the other one is the actual signature on the comic itself. But this one down here, I got at a convention. This is number 41 of 75. This is also on eBay. Here's complete speculation right here. Harley Quinn. I think I showed this one recently. 9.8. You notice the trend there? All modern, right? What else? 9.8. All 9.8s. Why? If you're going after modern, you're not going after 9.8, you're going to have stiff competition. Unless you're holding on to a Miles Morales. But look at the difference, right? A 9.8, 10 grand, something crazy. Maybe 5 grand now. I don't know because it's been fluctuating almost like Bitcoin. But if you go to like a 9.2, it could be $600-700. So it's a huge gap in modern. You can get a modern that will fetch you in the thousands in a 9.8. And in a 9.2, 9.0, 8.5, you're talking a couple $100, if that. Here's another. This is Bronze Age. This is an odd one. Okay, this is Two Fisted Tales, 1994, 9.2. Why did I get this? Well, the reason is I don't know how much you know about Two Fisted Tales, but Two Fisted Tales were drawn by Harvey Kurtzman. And Harvey Kurtzman, and as you see, new Harvey Kurtzman and new, because this was an original Harvey Kurtzman. It was done in 1994. Harvey Kurtzman was drawing EC in the 50s. And his whole thing was to be as realistic as possible. When Harvey Kurtzman drew a uniform, he actually studied it. When he drew a gun, he wanted to know exactly how that gun looked, all the different pieces of it. So when you saw something on a Harvey Kurtzman, Two Fisted Tales or Frontline Combat, you would absolutely know that everything you saw was as real or as close to real as possible. So I bought this because he did it. There's only 2 of them. It's I think this is issue 2, and I think there's an issue 1, and it's called the New Two Fisted Tales. It's issue 2 and 1. This one is also on eBay. But that one I got at 9.2 because it's actually not easy to find. A lot of people took those and thought they were reprints and didn't realize they were originals. So they weren't treated that well. Here's another one. Here's an example of Silver Age. Late Silver Age, beginning of Bronze Age. Jimmy Olsen. And this is Jimmy Olsen, number 113. 5.0. Why would I get a 5.0? I bought this one this way. Well, because first, I love this era of DC. I know it's campy, it's kind of the kiddish, but you know what? I was growing up with it, so it's very nostalgic to me. The stories, the look, Kurt Swan. I believe this. Oh, this is not a Kurt Swan. This is a Mike Esposito, but it's an 80-page giant, and I love 80-page giants. They were really tough because 80-page giants were glued; they weren't stapled. So heat and opening and closing the book destroyed a lot of the edge. As a matter of fact, I've got a Silver Surfer number 3 that the edge is destroyed. It's a shame because it's a gorgeous cover, and you know what number 3 is fetching right now. Here's another. This is, again, late Silver Age. What is it, 1968? This Jimmy Olsen was, I think, about the same. Yep, 1968. So both of them are 1968. This is an 8.5, not too bad. Again, also on eBay. But my whole point again is what? 80-page giant. This one's got a perfect spine. That's what I look for when I look for an 80-page giant. So why did I go after these if they weren't 9.8s? Well, because when you're looking at Silver Age, 9.8s are very rare and sometimes don't even exist. Although I've been mesmerized and amazed at the 9.8s I've seen of things like Amazing Fantasies 15. I would have never even imagined there was a 9.8 out in the wild. But yet I saw one recently being listed or being talked about in one of the channels. But the bottom line is when you're going to go after modern, it's 9.8. When you're going to go after bronze, you want to stick around 9.0. You don't want to move more than 9.0. For example, here's a 9.0 or a 9.6, I should say. This 9.6 is a bronze. X-Men 177. I actually got it because I absolutely love this cover. These are not that rare, and the 9.6, it's not that rare. But I love the cover. It's above a 9.0, and if I'm going to get anything in bronze, it's got to be a 9.0 or greater. Here's another beauty. Captain America. Captain America 102, 8.5. I really am sorry about the glare. There's not very much I can do. I've tried. Unless I go into a perfect cave for photography or filming, I won't be able to get much better than this. But this is a beautiful book. It's an 8.5, and I just find it astounding. I think its problem is probably that it was dirty and it was never cleaned or pressed. Here's some of my favorite Silver Age Strange Tales. Let's get this out of here. Strange Tales. Strange Tales 108, 1963. 6.5. So you may wonder, well, 6.5, not a very high grade. Strange Tales, for some reason, tend to be pretty beat up. So whenever I can pick up a Strange Tales, especially one like 108, which is one of the earlier ones, you got to remember when this was coming out, this was about somewhere around issue 12 of Fantastic Four, maybe 13, maybe even 10. Probably more like 12 or 13. Here's another. This is 6.0. This bag is sealed, so I can't really get it out of there. Or I can, but it's a little difficult. It's number 116. Again, 6.0. Beautiful, beautiful cover. Here's a nice one. This is 124. 7.0. You notice another trend? Sticking between 6, 7, and if I can, 8. That's Silver Age numbers. My lowest there that I try to go is about a 6. And I'll take anything from an 8 to 6 any day of the week. Especially when we're talking about like Fantastic Four, Strange Tales, Journey into Mystery. Those are some gorgeous, gorgeous pieces that represent the Silver Age of Marvel. Now we're going to get into the good stuff. Not the good stuff, but some of the more expensive stuff. Here is Flash Comics, number 76, 4.5. I will go all the way down to a 3 on Golden Age. Specifically when the covers represent something I like. This was something that I got and I actually sent out to CGC myself. Expected to get maybe a 5, ended up with a 4.5. Had hoped for maybe even a 6. The comic itself is in great shape. Let's see what it says. It's got white pages. I don't see any specific reason why it got the 4.5. Don't have the notes, the grader's notes. So all I can tell you is any day, any day. Talking about EC, remember? Well, there you go. 6.0. EC shock suspense stories. Guys, you know, it's amazing that these comics made it this far. These were hunted. These were literally hunted. Seduction of the Innocent. This was the target. 6.0, 1953. Any day of the week. Especially for what I paid for that one, you'd be shocked. EC has flown up high. Well, one of my all-time grails, all winners, with the entire team, the invaders, all ready to jump on Hitler, going right into Nazi Germany down here. 1943 is the height of the war. As you can imagine, you never see this. 7.0, all winners. Look everywhere for it. I never even see it come up on eBay. I'm certainly not going to put it there anytime soon. So, you know, you've seen my Golden Age actually rank up there with my Silver Age. Here's Captain Midnight, 7.0. I love this cover. Absolutely gorgeous cover. 1948. Can't go wrong, 1948. Beautiful cover. And by the way, these cases are immaculate. These are not on sale. The first ones I showed you, all the moderns I showed you, they're all listed. They're all on sale. I think there was one in there that may have not been a modern. And again, they're all in Comic Book 1962. And before I go on, please sub if you like what you see. If you want more, you know, make sure you hit your like button. Make sure you sub me. Try to share this video. Share it with other people that you think would like the topic. Here is another beauty, 8.0, Captain Marvel Jr. Up until now, you saw the most was a 7, and it was a timely. That's quite a catch. This is 1951. So 8.0 Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, for those of you who may not know this, outsold Superman for years. At one point was selling, I think it was 1 million copies a month. It was the #1 comic book in the United States. And DC eventually drove them into the ground through lawsuits and litigation. Look at this one. This is 1947, but 9.0 from 1947. If you want to hit some of these numbers, go after Fawcett. I cannot advise it anymore. I believe that if you're going into Golden Age and you're new, you can't go wrong with Fawcett. Fawcett has not yet taken off. It's beginning to. When I got into Fawcett, and I've been doing Fawcett now for, I want to say maybe 10 years, 12 years, I could pick this up. 9.0, 1947, guys. Off-white pages. I could pick this up for maybe $125, which is unheard of. Today, I think it's about $500. Now compare that to a timely, same era, same condition. You're probably talking in the thousands. Any of them, $3, $5, $6, $7,000. So Fawcett, best investment out there for Golden Age. So exactly how low would I go with Golden Age? I'll tell you, I will go as low as 3.0. My Silver Age and my Golden Age are pretty similar. I think there you have to hunt, right? And hunt after quality. If I'm going raw, which I have a couple of books here that are raw. Actually, let me take a look. I know we're doing CGC video, but at the same time, let me just show you some of the raws I've got. Plastic Man. Let's see. Year. Fortunately, it's in the 40s. It's number 32. Beautiful condition. We'll be sent this CGC soon. But you know, the reality is, unless your Golden Age is really, really high quality, or a Captain America, like this one, which is number 54. It's got a Human Torch story in it, as you can see down there in this issue. This should go to CGC, except I think it'll get me a 3. And for that, I won't do it. I'll select another beauty from Timely. Same thing here. I think I'd be lucky to get a 4.0. I might. But for some reason, I have a feeling this comic was trimmed. It's hard to tell, but I just get that feeling. Back then, comics were a little bit wider. This one is not as wide as what I normally see with others. My take is it's been trimmed. Comics Cavalade, uh, another DC that's from the era. I think this is 1944, something in that range. This is just at the end of the war. And then here's a Adventure into Darkness, more of an Atomic Age. I skipped Atomic Age because actually Atomic Age is where EC is from. It's not really Golden Age. And Atomic Age sits between, actually starts right after the bomb explodes and runs all the way through, I would say, 1957, which is when I believe The Flash came out on Showcase 4 and kicked off the Silver Age. So, okay, now you've seen what I have in CGC, some of the numbers. And like I said, my moderns, 9.8, bronze, nothing under 9.0. Try not to go there. You're not going to get bang for your buck. Unless it's a key, a specific key. And even then, it's never going to be a huge bang for your buck. I mean, if you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #1, yes, absolutely. A 8.5, a 7.0, and people aren't insanely crazy about the Turtles. So that's for sure. And I think they mark a part of the Bronze Age that is where independence really took off. And I think independence is another area, if you've got good independence, that you may want to keep your eye on. I am a firm believer in runs like Elementals by Comico, The Rocketeer by Comico, Nexus. I think they've all been kind of forgotten. And I think one day there may be a resurgence, especially when Hollywood gets their hands on them, because they're all comics that could be remade. It could be also that some of these properties get bought by Disney and tagged into the Marvel Universe, or even DC. Or who knows, Valiant is making a comeback. Valiant is another one I really didn't cover. I don't CGC my Valiants yet. I thought for a while there that I would, seeing that the Valiant universe was returning. I made a huge investment in Valiant, and I'll have a whole episode soon about Valiant. There's some pretty cool, interesting stuff that happened in Valiant. But now let me show you what I'm going to be sending off the CGC next. And you're going to understand, now that you know a little bit about how I grade or what I look for in the eras, why I'm sending these. Okay, we're going to start off with this baby. Condition, not great. I think I could probably get a 6, maybe a 5, anywhere between a 5 and a 6. But this guy is the second appearance and the second time that the word the Hulk was used by Stan Lee to describe a character, before the actual Green Hulk came onto the picture. So it makes it what they call a prototype book. There were a couple of them. There were, I think the Hulk was one. There's another that I can't remember now that they also did prototypes of. I want to say it was the Ant-Man, because there was the man in the anthill, and he wasn't the Ant-Man yet. But I believe that one really turned into Ant-Man, where here, there's no connection between this Hulk and our Jolly Green Giant. Next, Tomb of Dracula. Maybe you ask why. Well, I'll tell you why. I'm a firm believer that Tomb of Dracula is going to come on strong. I think Dracula is going to be the main character that's going to be facing off with Morbius. I think he may be the way Morbius comes into the Marvel Universe. And I also think that because of Blade, Dracula is going to be a very big character. He's kind of like the Mephisto of the of the monsters that Marvel has. And if you don't know this, the Mobius Amazing Spider-Man 101 was the first monster introduced to the Marvel Universe. That was a superhero because Morbius is not really a vampire. Morbius is a blood scientist that creates a serum to cure himself and discovers that it's going to turn him into a vampire. At least I think that's what's in the movie that's coming up, and it looks really good. But I think in the book, he was actually doing it to cure his wife. I'm not 100% sure. I haven't read it in a long time. One of my very all time favorite issues. Anyway, Dracula, number one, going to CGC. I suspect I could get an 8 out of that one. Here's one baby that everybody loves. One of my favorite all time series, Stan Lee's favorite series. Stan Lee actually said that his soul was left in the surfer in this series. As you notice, there's some edge issues there. The comic itself, I think I might be able to get a 5, maybe a 4.5. Either one, I don't care. I really am sending it off to be preserved. The edge is pretty clean, not necessarily beautiful. Now, can't send Silver Surfer number one without sending the very first full Galactus and Surfer on one cover. This is the second appearance of the Silver Surfer. This is Galactus's first appearance in a comic book, and just an incredible story. I truly hope and wish that the Fantastic Four movie is connected to this story somehow. Although I think Annihilus is going to be amazing, which is, by the way, I think this will get me a 4, maybe a 5, which is why I'm sending this one. I don't have annual number 7, which is the first appearance of Annihilus, but I actually read this one as a kid, and I loved Annihilus, and this story was awesome. So even though I don't have issue number 7, I think they're going to take aspects of that and this to make the new movie. And Annihilus is definitely a great character for cosmic Marvel. Um, Ultimate Fantastic Four 21. Why? Well, one, I know I'm going to get nicked on that. It's may get qualified. It's a Greg Lag signature. It's not verified. I'm still debating whether to send it in or not. But the reality is, it's a beautiful cover. It could get me, a beautiful comic. It could get me a 9.8. Worst case, 9.6. And by the way, first Marvel Zombies, and they're coming at you. I heard in the MCU, Mephisto is gonna bring the Marvel Zombies into our world, according to what I've been hearing. Don't know how true that is. Omega, why Omega? Well, total speculation. Bronze Age. I think I could get a 9.6. It has this here, which is some sort of color issue. I think some kid put their thumb on it or something. It looks a little lighter there. Outside of that, 9.8. This one, first of the last Tales to Astonish, but really the first, what's considered to be a first of Submariner versus Hulk in Tales to Astonish, where they actually fight each other and not on separate stories. And I think this one will get me an 8.5, if not a 9.0. Marvel Team Up. I don't know if it's nostalgia, what it is about Marvel Team Up. I love Marvel Team Up. Number 3 is actually the second part of the Mobius story. It goes directly from Spider-Man 101 and 102 straight into Marvel Team Up number 3. And it continues with the Torch now helping Spider-Man against Mobius. But the Torch and Spider-Man kind of lived the first 10 issues. I think they were in all 10 in the first 10 issues, but they were the more common team up. They were the team up that drove the beginning, and I just absolutely love Marvel Team Up. So I've got this one that I'm going to send off. I think I can get a 8.5, maybe 9.0. This is a 9.8. This Ghost Rider. That's why I'm sending it in. Modern Age, 9.8. Never even been open. I bought it off the rack. Again, 9.8, never even been open. Beautiful 101. Now here we got one that I think is a 9.8. I'm hoping it's a 9.8. This is First Gambit. I think this one should fetch a pretty penny if I hit 9.8. So that's it. That's going out. Be sending it out over the next few weeks, and then at that point, we'll we'll see what I get back. One of the things is I last time I sent my comics out, I did a cleaning and a pressing, and it literally took 6 months. I'm debating not doing it because I have a feeling if you send it to CGC and you get a cleaning and a pressing, they tend to be kinder to you because they've kind of done the work themselves. But 6 months is a long time. So I may send it in. I don't have any of these that I need to, or I'm going to try to sell within 6 months. But if you notice Fantastic 449, you notice Silver Surfer #1, you know what's out there. Movies, Gambit, movie. So I'm really prepping these for the MCU's X-Men Return series that is going to start probably heating up over the next 6 to 12 months. And then I really expect the Fantastic Four to be completely, on their trailers or early trailers by the end of this year, which is 2021. And if that's the case, then I'm pretty sure Silver Surfer is going to somehow be involved. And I've got a ton of surfers already. I got the whole collection of that series. And then number 49, I think, is only going to continue to escalate. And, what I do is I sell these and then I go out and I buy some of the grills that I really want. Like I really would like a Fantastic Four #1. So I'm thinking I'll sell my 49 and some of the other ones if I can pull together enough money to buy a #1. But if you want to get a Fantastic Four #1, get it now because I have a feeling we're seeing the bottom. Guys, thank you for joining me. As I said, please hit that like button. Please subscribe to the channel. I need your subscriptions. I want to know that you guys actually enjoy this. Feel free to send me an email. My email's at the end of this video. If you want to leave a comment, please leave a comment. I'm thinking of doing a live show soon. I may do it with a good friend that I've made online, Highly a Comic Bro. I think is going to be my guest. He's actually going to help me put it together. I've never done a live stream. Have no idea how many of you are going to show up, but I will announce it. And if you can, please show up. It should be a lot of fun. I'm not sure what topics we're going to be covering yet. We're working on that, and I'm hoping to get that done before the end of February. Look forward to seeing you guys again. And as always, man, enjoy your hobby. Love it, still love it. As you can see my room. Funny is, now that we're on Zoom and Teams, and I do work for a living, when some of the people I work with get on, sometimes the conversation drifts into comics for quite a much longer time than you would ever imagine. And the people that are interested are sometimes the last people you would think. Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. Look forward to seeing you again. Comic Book 1962, Alex from Miami, in a bitter winter storm. Just kidding. Hope you guys are doing all right. I know a lot of you are in a lot of snow. I left New York a long time ago. Yep, love New York, but sorry, guys. There's nothing like Florida. And I love Miami. Bye.
You know that it would be untrue. You know that I would be a liar if I was to say to you, girl, we couldn't get much higher. Come on, baby, light my fire. Come on, baby, light my fire. Try to set the night on fire.